Yesterday I worked in a market in Krakow. I had my scarf up, crystal ball polished, and Silvery was changing hands for a carefully shipped hope. Honestly, it was a good day for it. People were anxious, looking for permission more than answers. That was when Diego sat down. A bard, obviously. A mandolin on his back and a smile a little too easy on the eyes. I told him he was standing at a crossroads and that something emotional was coming for him soon. Maybe love. He tried to charm his way into being that future himself, but I shut him down gently. I liked him, but not like that. Some things are meant to pass through, not stay. This morning our paths crossed again. He fell into step with the caravan as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Turns out we were traveling the same way. I thought it was odd how brightly Arya smiled when she saw him, all warmth and mischief. Later, far too casually, she told me she'd spent the night with him. Strange, really. Perhaps my fortunes aren't a scam after all. I think tomorrow we part ways, but for what it's worth, I don't think this was the last time our paths will cross. Well, tonight took a turn I didn't plan on. We're camped near Briarthorn Haven while everyone waits for Arya at the pub, and the tension is unbearable. So I went to town to escape before someone gets strangled with a tent rope. I was minding my own business when I heard him. A lute, a smooth voice, the kind of sound that makes you forget that you were angry. Erendor, sitting by a fountain like he'd stepped straight out of a storybook. Hair perfect, smile even better. I told myself I was only curious, but I stayed far too long. When the song ended, he walked straight over and said, "Well, aren't you a hard one to impress?" I told him it takes more than a song. He laughed, and he said he'd take it as a challenge. Of course, I did not enjoy hearing that. Not one bit. Definitely not. I swear he is everywhere. Every time I go into town, there he is, playing in the square, laughing in the tavern, pretending it is all a coincidence. At first, I thought I was imagining it, but he has this smug little half smile that says he knows exactly what he is doing. Erendor is persistent, but not in the irritating way most men are. He has this knack for reading people, me especially, which is dangerous. He knows when to tease and when to talk and then when to sit and just let the silence do the work. We have talked more than I would like to admit. About everything, nothing, the world. His stories are half lies, I am sure. But they are good lies. I almost want to believe them. Still, I'm not stupid. Men like him do not stay. He will move on soon enough, find another fool to charm. I will admit, I thought he'd be gone by now, but Erendor stayed. When he found out about our traveling life, I expected the usual polite smile followed by the quiet disappearance. Instead, he showed up at camp one night, lute in hand, acting as though he had always been part of the family. And somehow, everyone just accepted him, even my parents. I still cannot tell if it was his music or that ridiculous grin of his. He helps with everything too, fetching water, mending straps, even listening to Arya's endless complaints about swollen ankles. The man is infuriatingly charming, and worse, he actually means it. He never looks at us like we are strange, never flinches at the horns or stares from the others. After hours of chaos, shouting, and far too many towels, she finally arrived. Tiny, red-faced, and already louder than anyone else in the camp. Arya is exhausted but glowing. I've never seen her look so proud. And Erendor? He was there through all of it. Never left a fire, never complained, just kept everything steady. I do not think I've ever met a man who can fetch water and make it look sexy. When it was over, he sat beside me, his hand finding mine without a word. His thumb brushed over my knuckles, and for a moment, everything went still. No panic, no noise, just him. I told him he looked good with a baby in arm, though I'm not sure why I said it. He smiled, soft and tired, and I felt something twist in my chest. Gods help me, I'm in too deep. Things have finally settled again. The cry of a baby has become part of the camp's rhythm, somewhere between the crackle of fire and the grumble's endless snoring. Arya keeps saying Quinn has her eyes, though Grandad insists that she's got the lungs from him, and he might be right. Erendor still has not left. He helps with water runs, plays songs for Quinn, and somehow manages to make Mum laugh, even when she looks ready to collapse. Dad already treats him like family, sneaking him extra stew at dinner as if feeding him might convince him to stay. It is very dad of him. I keep telling myself I know better than to fall for a bard, but then he catches my eye across the fire and smiles that soft, maddening smile. I kissed him tonight? It was late, everyone asleep, just me and him by the fire while his snort grumbled in his dreams. The air was cool, quiet. Erendor wasn't his usual charming self, softer somehow, like he had run out of masks to wear. He told me he'd never stayed anywhere this long before. When I asked why, pretending not to care, he said, "You." And gods, that one word nearly undid me. I told him he did not have to say things like that. He just smiled and said he meant it. Then I stopped pretending that I didn't want to know what he tasted like. It was slow, careful, and terrifyingly gentle. The kind of kiss that feels like a promise. I think I finally understand what it means to stop running. The last few weeks have been different. He is not just a passing fancy anymore. He has become part of us. Mum laughs more when he's around. Dad hums along to his songs. And even Granddad pretends not to smile when Erendor plays near the fire. Sometimes we slip away at night, just the two of us. No plans, no pretense. Tonight we lay under the stars in a quiet clearing. He asked me if I ever think about the future. I told him no, because I never have. But then he took my hand and said, "Maybe it is time we start." And for the first time, I could actually see it. Not a dream, not a trick of the heart, but a life. With him. He's gone. The heirloom. Our family's heart. Our anchor. Gone. I woke to find his side of the bed cold. For a moment I thought he'd gone to fetch water or to walk before dawn like he does sometimes. But then I saw the chest, open, empty. The amulet is missing. And in its place a note. I read it until the words blurred. I wanted it to change, to twist itself into something else, anything else. But it stayed the same. He took it. He took everything. Mom tried to hold me. Dad cursed the gods. Grandad just sat by the fire in silence. And Arya cried. I felt nothing at first. Just a hollow ache where something used to be. Part of me thinks that he was forced. That something made him do this. But another part of me knows that hope is foolish. Still, I cannot let go. I'm not ready to believe he chose this. Not him. Not the man who kissed me under the stars. I spent the last day packing what I can carry. Mom pretended to tidy camp while watching me the whole time. Dad tried to convince me to wait until morning, but we both knew that I would not. Granddad said nothing at all, just pressed the old compass into my hand and told me to keep to the roads when I can. Arya, she held Quinn so tight I thought she might never let go. They all know what the heirloom means to me. They all know there is no stopping me. I do not know what I will find when I reach him. Maybe the man I loved. Maybe a stranger wearing his smile. I cannot think about that now. All I know is this. I will find him, and I will bring the heirloom home. And whatever truths wait for me, at the end, I will face it.